6 months after Mum's stroke, the head physiotherapist looked at me and said, "Maria, this is probably as good as she gets." Mum was sitting in the chair next to me. She heard him say it. That night, I watched her stop trying. Her hand stayed in her lap. She didn't reach for her cup of tea. She just looked out the window. And I thought, no, I am not letting that be the end of the story.
Welcome to the Wellness Bridge. I'm Gary Chen, physiotherapist and founder of GC Integrative Physiotherapy and Wellness on the Gold Coast. Today's episode is one of the most important conversations we've had on this show because it's about what happens after the medical system says this is as good as it gets. It's about a daughter who refused that sentence and a 71-year-old mother who learned in her 70s how to move again. Through Tai Chi. Maria, thank you for being here. Take me back to the day of the stroke. What happened?
It was a Tuesday morning. Mum was in the kitchen making rice. She'd been making rice in that kitchen for 40 years. And then she just fell. The right side of her body stopped working. The ambulance got to her in maybe 12 minutes. The hospital was excellent. They saved her life. But after the acute phase, after the 4 weeks of inpatient rehab, after the 3 months of community physiotherapy, the progress slowed, and then it stopped.
That plateau is something I see constantly in my clinic. The Australian Institute of Health and Welfare reports about 38,000 Australians have a first ever stroke each year, and around 65% of survivors live with ongoing disability. The acute care here is world class. But the second phase, the slow phase, 6 months and beyond, that's where families fall through.
That's exactly it. The hospital discharged her with this folder of exercises. 3 pages. Mum looked at it once and put it in a drawer. I don't blame her. The exercises were boring. They hurt and they made her feel broken. Every rep was a reminder of what she couldn't do anymore.
So how did Tai Chi enter the picture?
Honestly, desperation and a flyer at the library. There was a community Tai Chi class running on Saturday mornings. Free gold coin donation. I dragged Mum there. She did not want to go. She told me in Tagalog that I was a terrible daughter. But the teacher, an elderly Chinese-Australian gentleman, very gentle, saw the cane, saw the right arm not working, and said, "Sit, we'll do it sitting first." 12 weeks later, she was standing through the whole class.
What you stumbled onto, Maria, is now one of the most consistently supported findings in stroke rehabilitation literature. A 2018 Cochrane-level systematic review by Lui and colleagues found that Tai Chi added to conventional rehab significantly improved balance, activities of daily living, and depression scores in chronic stroke survivors. A meta-analysis the same year by Wu and colleagues showed a pooled effect size on the Berg Balance Scale of 0.88, what we call a large effect, and a fall reduction of about 57% in chronic post-stroke patients.
57%? That's enormous.
It's enormous. And that's not all. Wolf and colleagues at Emory University published a foundational study back in 1996 showing Tai Chi reduces multiple falls in older adults by nearly half. Taylor Pillier's group ran a randomized trial in 2014, 12 weeks of Yang-style Tai Chi, 3 sessions a week, and stroke survivors improved on timed up-and-go, single-leg stance, and quality of life vitality scores compared to standard senior exercise programs. And here's the part that matters most for caregivers. The Stroke Foundation of Australia's 2022 clinical guidelines explicitly recognize community-based exercise programs, including Tai Chi, for ongoing balance and falls reduction. This is not fringe medicine. This is in the guidelines. Maria, Here's where I want to go a bit deeper. Because what happened to your mother in that Saturday class, the slow return of movement, there's a Western neuroscience explanation, and there's an Eastern philosophical explanation, and the strange thing is they're describing the same phenomenon.
Tell me.
In the Tao Te Ching, chapter 76, Lao Tzu writes, "The hard and the stiff are the companions of death. The soft and the supple are the companions of life." For 2,500 years, people have read that as poetry. It isn't poetry, it's clinical observation. After a stroke, the affected side becomes rigid, spasticity, contracture, a fist that won't open. The unaffected side stays supple. Recovery in Lao Tzu's frame is about returning suppleness to the rigid side.
That's exactly what I watched happen. Mum's hand was a fist for almost a year. The Tai Chi opened it, slowly, like a flower.
And here's the Western mirror. Peter Wayne and his team at Harvard's Osher Center have shown, using functional MRI, that Tai Chi practice remodels the connections between the prefrontal cortex and the motor cortex, and improves the integration of vestibular, visual, and proprioceptive input. In plain language, Tai Chi rebuilds the brain's whole body map, not just the leg, not just the arm, the whole map. That's why a stroke survivor who plateaus on conventional rehab can keep improving on Tai Chi for years afterwards. The conventional model treats balance as a peripheral problem. Tai Chi treats balance as a whole system problem, and the brain after stroke needs whole system practice.
When you put it that way, what the old Chinese gentleman at the library knew without saying it, your body remembers itself if you give it time and softness, is what Harvard is now proving in a brain scanner.
Exactly. 2,500 years of the same observation, different vocabularies, same truth. So for any caregiver listening right now, what do they actually do? 5 takeaways. Number 1, wait for medical clearance, then start as soon as possible. Most clinicians agree Tai Chi is safe to introduce once acute medical stability is achieved and the survivor can stand or stand with support for 30 seconds. Don't wait 6 months, earlier is better.
That's the part I wish someone had told me. I would have started in month 2, not month 7.
Number 2, find a community-based group, not a YouTube video, for the first 12 weeks. Beginner technique for risk and hemiparesis adaptation all need an in-person instructor's eye. The Australian Tai Chi and Qigong Society has community classes in most Gold Coast and Brisbane suburbs. Many councils run them. Some are free.
Ours was gold coin donation. The whole thing cost less than a coffee.
Number 3, 3 sessions a week is the floor, not the ceiling. 2 sessions is below the clinical effect threshold. In most meta-analyses, 3 is where the meaningful balance gains start. Number 4, pair Tai Chi with conventional physiotherapy. Do not replace it. The evidence is for Tai Chi as an adjunct, not an alternative. Keep your physiotherapist. Add the Tai Chi. The two work together.
That's true. Mum kept going to her physio, and the physio actually started giving her Tai Chi style weight shifts to do at home between sessions. The two practices fed each other.
Number 5, measure something every fortnight. Timed up and go, single leg stance time, or just how far they can walk before fatigue. The number changing, even by a second or a meter, is what keeps both the survivor and the caregiver going through the slow weeks. Hope is real, but hope with a measurement attached is durable. Maria, before we close, I want to ask, where is your mother today?
Mom is 72 now. She walks to the local market with her cane on her good days, without it on her great days. Last month, she made rice for the family on her own, for the first time since the stroke. She told me, Maria, the rice is better than the hospital rice. It is better than the hospital rice.
2,500 years ago, Lao Tzu watched something his neighbors called a miracle and wrote one line about it. The soft and supple are the companions of life. Your mother is that line walking around in Brisbane. To every caregiver listening, the system will sometimes tell you the recovery is over. The literature, the neuroscience, and 2,500 years of Eastern movement traditions all say the same thing. Recovery isn't a window that closes. It's a road that gets quieter but never ends. The supple side wins. Slowly, faithfully, for as long as you keep moving. Maria, thank you for sharing your mom's story with us.
Thank you, Gary. For everyone listening, your loved one is not as good as it gets. Keep going.
If this episode moved you, save it for the caregiver in your life who needs to hear it today. I'm Gary Chen. This has been the Wellness Bridge. Together, we find balance in one.